So what we're going to attempt to do today, I'm going to introduce you to my holdback from the Dambala Cross Raiden clutch of blood pythons. So I'm going to show you her first, introduce her, who I picked to keep. Those of you that have been following along probably already know who it is, but nonetheless. And then I'm going to show you guys 3 of the babies so far from this clutch that are available now that I have listed for sale places, just so you can see them in person. What I'm going to do is we're just gonna handle them how it works out. So if they behave, they behave. If they don't, they don't. But I want you guys to get an opportunity to see these animals exactly as they are. Obviously, we're outside, so that throws a little kink in there. I've got them all right here in their bins. The Goldeneye is my holdback. She's the one I'm going to introduce. She looks pissed off, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to work on getting her out right now and see what we can do. See if we can get her to come out without being super mad. So I had to change her name. I was going to name her Vesper after Ava Green's character in the James Bond movies here. But I just saw today that April named one of her T-positive 007s, or T-negative, excuse me, 007s that. And so I don't want to copy somebody's name, even though obviously some of my animals may have the same name as somebody else's. So now I've got to go back to the drawing board. All right, you don't have to be mad. So obviously, you know, she's defensive right now. That's actually the first time this baby has struck at me. She's obviously fixated right now on my face because I'm talking, for one. 2, these animals are smart enough to know that's where the danger comes from. So right now I'm just trying to keep her far enough away from me where she doesn't feel like she needs to defend herself, and kind of just let her settle. I'm not sticking my hand in her face. Hopefully she doesn't flop. If she does, I'm over the grass, so it's not a huge deal. She's not going to get hurt out here. So that's one of the things that you want to keep in mind when you're dealing with baby shorttails in general, or bloods, is that they will flop when they get nervous sometimes, and they can get hurt, especially on a wood floor, a tile floor, or a hard surface. You have to watch out for the corners of racks, tables, whatever it is you might be around. So that's why it's kind of nice to get them outside here. We'll try to show you her without upsetting her too much, but you guys have seen her in some of the other videos. Just an absolutely beautiful animal that's going to be saturated with red as she gets older, and I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if I can turn her without getting her too upset, but all through there, if you guys can see, hopefully. I love the red that she has. The kind of circle and oscillating patterns there I think are really quite cool. I'm going to try to get her from underneath here without upsetting her. Get a little bit better grip there for you so you can see her. It's amazing how out of shape I am. It's like making my hand shake just to hold it up without the support, so I'm putting it on my knee here. But she does not want to be defensive. She's only being defensive because she's nervous, she's new, she's little. So as long as I'm making movements and doing things in a way where she has a chance to think and realize, like, okay, this is not as bad as I think it is, we can actually turn this, you know, negative reaction into a positive moment. So even though I am still holding her after she did strike, I'm not trying to push her boundaries or push her limits too much. I'm trying to be very respectful to her. And I'm trying to let her use her brain to kind of figure out what's going on here and what the situation really is. And that, you know, she's not in danger, that I don't mean her any harm. She's not going to learn that in one day. It's going to take multiple times with me and things like that. I wanted to hold this snake back the most because the moment she hatched, I was in love, first of all, which I think a lot of you know. And so the very moment she hatched, I kept saying, oh, I hope it's a female, I hope it's a female, I hope it's a female. I didn't even want to check her. I didn't even want to think about it because I didn't want to ruin it right away. I waited until after I offered meals. She's actually eaten a couple times already. She took first time offered and second time offered, and that's all I've offered the clutch so far. Just what an incredible animal. I think she's really going to add to my projects. Obviously, eventually I would like the opportunity to go for magpie. And so that's why I wanted a female with the Goldeneye gene, since all I have right now is a male. Now down the line, hopefully I can bring in some new blood or something like that and really get a project going with all that stuff. But for now, at least this will afford me the opportunity to do that. But I really think that this animal is going to add a lot to my projects. Just try to turn her there so you guys can see her. Hopefully I've got her on camera all this time. Let's see if I can kind of handle her a little bit more traditionally. See, so she might get a little bit nervous like this. She might be more apt to bite me. If she bites me, it's not a huge deal. Obviously, I would like to avoid it for the sake of both of us, to keep this positive interaction going as much as I can. You know, she's being a little racy right now, but she's being reasonable. So she's very nervous, she's very alert, but she's not being overly reactive either. She had the one strike, and right now, she's kind of in a state of where she's not sure if she should be curious or nervous, so she's kind of a combination of the two. And so we want to encourage her curiosity while not giving her a reason to feel like she needs to be defensive and let that drop. So I think overall this is a positive experience right now for her. You know, it's the first time she did strike, new environment, she's outside, she's exposed, she's up in the air. There's a lot of things going on right now with her that's very unnatural for her species. My hand coming from underneath, you know, is a little weird, or coming at her at all. But I'm just trying to do it in the least threatening way possible. I can feel her posture flattening out a little bit, so her nervousness is increasing right now. So what we're gonna do is put her back. I think you guys got a good look at her, hopefully, all the nice pattern. We're gonna put her back, and we'll show off the other babies that are available for sale right now, so you guys can get a look at them. So bear with me a second. I'm just gonna switch the orientation of this stuff here, let her kind of relax and do her thing. I like these bins that they're stackable. Smaller, like really small short tails can still get up to the side like this. Even these guys could if they push hard enough, but the way I have it and me being right here, it's not a big deal. So first baby we're going to look at is baby number 2. She was the first to hatch. This is the second to hatch. This baby's also had a couple of meals so far. This one's going to be a T-positive 007 male. All three that you're going to see are T-positive 007 males. Same thing, so you're getting a live look at how this animal, I mean not live, but I'm not editing or anything. So you're getting a look at how these animals behave. Same thing, you can see some nervousness, a little apprehension, but not quick to bite. Very workable animal. And this is where just kind of working with them and spending a little time with them, you know, once somebody purchases them, is going to get them towards being a more tractable animal. Once again, same thing, focused on my face right now. That's where it senses the danger would come from. Obviously it's a smart animal because that's where the danger would come from a predator. And so it is keeping an eye on that, and it wants to move away from that ultimately. Really, really pretty animal. Gonna make somebody a wonderful, wonderful addition to any project you have going on, especially as that color comes in as this animal ages. I think this animal is gonna be a stunner. So it really doesn't matter what blood projects you're working with, this animal can add to it. Obviously, if you like T-positive albino, great. If you're just working with normal stuff, you'll make hets, that's cool. You can make really nice red matrix stuff. You can make nice red goldeneye stuff, more 007s. Or you could plug it into other projects, make cool pixels and you know, cool matrices or combinations thereof, depending on what genes you have at play. You know, pretty much whatever you have. Once again, flattened out, very nervous. But being reasonable. Obviously the animal has no intent to do anything nefarious, it's just nervous. It's a brand new baby. This animal's been handled 2 times, technically 3. Once to come out of the incubator, once to get sexed, and then now. So this animal is very nervous. I guess technically it had some brief handling for cleaning, but I don't really count that because that's just a quick move and not really any time spent. So 3 experiences. 1 is it getting ripped out of its incubator. 1 is getting its you know, hemipenes averted from its body, and this is the only semi-positive experience it's had, and still it's this well behaved. So baby number 2, if you guys are interested, you can contact me about baby number 2, and we'll move on to the next one here. I know, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. Watch yourself there, sweetheart. All right, so this one is going to be baby number 5. God, the mosquitoes are terrible. I'm getting torn apart. This one, once again, is a T-positive 007. As we mentioned, they're all the same thing. Baby number 5 here. Really cool one. So the cool thing was, as these were hatching, I was, hopefully I'm keeping these guys all on screen for you. I'm sorry if I'm not. But as these were hatching, I like the first one came out, I'm like, oh my God, that's the best one. And then this one came out, I'm like, this one's even better. And the last one came out, I'm like, I think I like that one better. And I've gone back and forth. I really don't know which one is my favorite right now. So I think it comes down to personal preference for me. This one has had one meal. He did not take the first time offered, did take the second time offered. So obviously with selling these guys, I am going to get a couple more meals into them, but I figured a lot of people are probably going to be looking for some short-term payment plans, things like that. So I figure, you know, I'll get them out there, get them up for sale, and then, you know, weather permitting, they'd be able to be shipped within a couple or a few weeks, depending on, you know, how quickly I get those meals into them. But doing great. Once again, really cool patterns, all kinds of stuff going on to like. This one, I really like the sides on. I don't know if that side is as nice as I like this side. Well, they're both really nice. But we'll turn it around so you can kind of see both sides there. Lots of pattern on this one, which I think is cool. Just really, really impressive animals. You know, obviously, like I said, they're doing such a wonderful job of really dealing with this situation that they don't quite understand yet. They'd be well within their rights to be striking and biting and flipping out, and they're really, really handling things well. I mean, to have a baby you've really not spent any time with and to be able to tickle their chin and touch near their face and move them around and all that stuff and have, you know, pretty solid, healthy tongue flicks here. That's a nice thing to see, especially from an animal that you know is nervous, but is kind of compartmentalizing that and really, really thinking and not just reacting. So these guys are very intelligent little fellows, and you would be lucky to have them. I will not be depressed if they all stay, but unfortunately, financially, that's not really feasible for me because I would love to watch this whole clutch develop and have their color changes as they get older, 2-3 years old, and really start to get nice, crisp colors and look really cool, get those real nice pinks coming in. But yeah, so this again is baby number 5. We've got one more left. So let's flip-flop here. Oh, number 6 is looking a little huffy and puffy. So we'll see how that goes. Man, I can't stop getting bit up by these mosquitoes. I'd rather take bites from the snakes than mosquitoes. So let's see, this one definitely looks a little bit more high-strung than the other ones were initially. We'll see what happens once we get into the air. So far, so good. Another one, just really cool side patterns, lots of cool stuff going on. Oops, immediately turned towards my face. You know, they're not really used to me talking that much yet, and obviously I'm talking a lot for this. So they sense that, they pick up on it, and you know, they don't know if it's a threat or not. Everything right now is new to them. So it's all about them evaluating their world. You can see though that this one is much more active than all the others were so far. You know, just different personalities within individuals. Some of them will kind of just sit around and hang. Some of them are much more active. Some of the like T-positive matrix stuff in this clutch, 2 out of the 3 are like super personable snakes. The moment you open the tub, they're right out into your hands. They'll come right up. You can rub their chins. They'll sit in your hands. They'll crawl around. They'll explore. Just super, super outgoing personalities, which is really cool to see. But none of the babies in this clutch have shit personalities. I've hatched some blood pythons that have shit personalities, and you know, you can't even open the tub without taking shots off the fingers, and you know, you just look at them wrong and they start striking. These guys are not that way. You can see all of them are very, very reasonable. You know, for babies that aren't even a month old yet, I don't think. I forget when they hatched, right before I went to Daytona. So yeah, they've got to be right about a month old now, I think. But just wonderful, wonderful animals. So this is baby number 6. All 3 are males, except for obviously the first one that my holdback that this video is kind of centered around. I just didn't want to leave her up too long since she was the most nervous of them. But she's really cool. These 3 males get at me for sure. Don't wait. You know, they're absolutely stunning animals. They are going to be available to anyone in the 48, you know, continental states. I can ship, I can meet up within reasonable distance. They are $2,500 each. That includes shipping. Shipping will go to your local FedEx hub Tuesday to Thursday, weather permitting. So just be aware of that before you inquire. If that's not going to work for you, then no reason to waste your time or mine. Not doing any residential shipping anymore. Not the way. FedEx is just not reliable with that. It's just not fair to the animals, and ultimately they are the first priority. So we have to we have to do what's right for them. To those of you that have been following along, maybe haven't heard, I had Rob come down this week. He helped me go through some of these babies. We went through the new Borneo babies, you know, stuff like that. I don't even know that I put the Borneo babies on the channel yet. I don't think I have, so we'll have to do that at some point. But so we went through those, but we also probed Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy is a female, as I've suspected for some time was possible. So Ron's going to get a little bump up in food, and then he will, well, she will be paired when I feel she's ready. And then in worse news, my big southern white-lipped female is indeed a male. So I have 2 southern white-lipped males, no females, so that project's dead in the water. I do not have the money to purchase a female, especially right now. They're running anywhere from like $2,000 to $3,500. It's just not in the realm of something I can spend money on right now. So I have a decision to make with that animal. He's been here for 3.5 years. I should have probed him a long time ago, and I didn't. You know, it was one of those things I really needed help, and the setup that I had worked beautifully. Rob and I were able to sex him very safely for him and us. No bloodshed, no real drama, nice and easy. But that probe slid way in there. I think it went in 12 scales on one side, and like 9 or 10 on the other. So definitely a male, unfortunately. But you know, I have to decide what I want to do financially. It doesn't make sense for me to keep animals that I can't do anything with right now. But for the animal's best interest, it doesn't make sense to send that older animal somewhere else. So for now, he's here as a pet only, a pet that doesn't like me very much. But we'll see what happens in the future. If I do end up moving and the animal's going to have to move regardless, then at that time, I think maybe I'll look for somebody, see if I can find somebody that has a female that's looking for a large male, that might be able to put him to some use. So we'll go from there. You got to take the good with the bad. Did confirm some of my other holdbacks from prior years, just probing. You know, we had popped them in 2015, 2016. Probed them, they were all confirmed. So other than Ron and the white lip, everybody was what they were supposed to be. And once again, reach out to me about these fantastic babies, and don't miss an opportunity to get a snake that's really going to add some firepower to your project, not to mention an animal that's just going to be an absolute pleasure to work with and build a relationship with and have for 20, 30 years to come. So thank you guys. We'll see you.